Welcome to another deep dive. We're tackling a big one today, artificial intelligence. And to help us get a handle on this, really complex topic, we've got insights from faculty at Virginia Tech's College of Engineering.
And what's really cool is we're not just talking computer science here. We've got robotics, construction, even aerospace, all these different perspectives on AI.
It really shows how AI is impacting, every corner of our lives these days. Makes you wonder, right? Will AI make us all smarter or maybe just more reliant on it?
Yeah. Is it going to steal all our jobs or create brand new ones? Who knows?
And honestly, can it finally help us pick better gifts? Because some of us could use the help.
Right. Maybe AI is the answer to bad gift giving once and for all. But before we get there, we've got to start with the potential, right? All the good stuff AI promises.
Okay, so Professor Luzzi, he's a mechanical engineer, and he works on how humans and robots interact. And he's got this really inspiring vision of AI helping people with disabilities.
I mean, think about it. Robotic arms that could give people back their independence or autonomous vehicles, right? So people who have trouble getting around can go wherever they want.
Really powerful stuff. AI empowering people, And it's not just physical help either. Professor Rowe, he's in computer science, and he says these large language models, the ones that can talk and write like humans, they could totally change how we communicate.
Almost like always having a sounding board, to try out ideas or practice a tough conversation before you have it for real.
Like a built-in brainstorming partner. But Professor Rowe's careful to say these are tools, not replacements for real human connection. Right?
Yeah, for sure. They can help us communicate better, but we can't forget how important it is to actually connect with each other, human to human.
That's key. And speaking of changing things up, Professor Shojai, he's all about construction, and he thinks AI is going to revolutionize how we build things. He talks about making buildings safer, more efficient.
And even more sustainable. Less waste, fewer accidents, and more time for the creative stuff, problem solving, coming up with cool designs.
So instead of architects spending time on, scheduling or whatever, they can focus on what they're best at.
Exactly. AI working alongside humans, not instead of them. That's the sweet spot.
I like it. And the thing is, we're probably just seeing the tip of the iceberg. Professor Saad, he's the wireless communications and AI guy, and he's like, this is just the beginning, folks.
He compares it to the early days of the internet. Think about how much that changed everything, right?
Mind-blowing.
Totally. So with AI, we're talking 6G, driverless cars, the metaverse, and probably a bunch of stuff we haven't even thought of yet.
Makes you feel kind of small, huh?
Yeah.
All this potential.
Yeah.
But then Professor Atkins, she's from aerospace and ocean engineering. She brings up a cool point. It's not just about AI replacing us. It can also make us better.
She gives the example of the Apollo mission software, right? That was cutting edge back then. Or using AI to help doctors make faster, more accurate diagnoses.
So AI working with us, not against us.
Yeah.
Helping us reach our full potential.
Exactly. That's where it gets really exciting. AI is more than just automating stuff. It's about unlocking what humans can do in ways we're only starting to understand.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the good stuff, the positive side of AI. But the experts didn't shy away from the downsides either. The stuff that's, less than ideal. Ready to dive into the bad side of AI?
Let's do it. I mean, every new technology has its downsides, right? We got to acknowledge those, figure out how to deal with them.
Professor Luzzi, for example, he's worried about us relying too much on AI. What if it makes us lazy thinkers?
Yeah, if you use a calculator for everything, you forget how to do math in your head, right? Same thing with AI. It's a powerful tool, but we can't let it do all the thinking for us.
Yeah.
Got to stay sharp.
Right. Find that balance. AI helping us, but not taking over. And then there's Professor Shojai. He knows AI is going to be a big change for society. And he says there's going to be some growing pains along the way. What about data privacy? How do we make sure AI is used ethically? And what about the environmental impact of all this technology?
These are big, complicated issues. We need to make sure that as we develop AI, it's done in a way that protects people's privacy, is good for the environment, and benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Definitely. And the environment is a big one. Professor Saad brought that up too. All those data centers running AI, they use a ton of energy.
He's basically saying we need to figure out how to make AI more energy efficient, right? Reduce its carbon footprint. We can't solve one problem by creating another.
And Professor Atkins, she's on the same page. She's like, why are we wasting AI on dumb stuff? Things that don't really matter.
She's all about using AI for the greater good, tackling important problems, making a real difference. No more frivolous AI, right?
I'm with her. Okay, so we've got the good, the potential that gets us all excited. And we've dipped our toes into the bad, the stuff we need to watch out for. But now, are you ready for the really scary stuff? The things that keep these experts up at night.
Bring it on. Sometimes it's the scary stuff that makes us think the hardest, Makes us figure out what really matters and how we want to shape the future.
All right, then brace yourself. Professor Lucy, his biggest fear is that AI will start controlling our decisions without us even realizing it.
And he's not talking about some far-off dystopian future. He's talking about now, right now.
He's saying AI is already influencing what we watch, what we buy, our political views, even our values.
It's like, who's really in control? Are we making choices based on what WE want or what some algorithm thinks we want?
It's kind of creepy, right? And Professor Rowe, he worries that all this AI could actually make us less connected to each other. What if we start preferring to talk to a chatbot? That always says the right thing, instead of dealing with messy, unpredictable humans.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, are we trading a real human connection for the convenience of AI? And what does that do to us in the long run?
Big questions. And then there's the big one, the one everyone always talks about, AI taking our jobs. Professor Shojai doesn't sugarcoat it. He says millions of jobs could disappear because of AI.
Think about it. Construction workers, truck drivers, factory workers, whole industries could be transformed. It's a legitimate fear.
He says we need to start preparing people for the jobs of the future, jobs that might not even exist yet. Got to be proactive.
Absolutely. And it's not just blue-collar jobs either. Professor Saad talks about AI in medicine, right? Will doctors even be necessary anymore if AI gets good enough at diagnosing and treating us?
A little scary, right? But Professor Saad, he's actually more optimistic. He sees AI as a tool for doctors, not a replacement.
Imagine AI helping with diagnoses, analyzing medical images, giving doctors more information so they can make faster, better decisions. It's about enhancing human expertise, not getting rid of it.
Okay, that's a little less scary. AI working with doctors, not instead of them. But then Professor Atkins throws a real curveball. She paints this picture of AI as like a propaganda machine, blurring the lines between what's true and what's fake.
Imagine AI churning out fake news articles that sound totally real or manipulating what we see on social media to, control people's opinions. How do we even know what to believe anymore? Especially when AI can sound so convincing.
It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And it shows just how important it is to, be critical thinkers, right?
Yeah.
Not just believe everything we see online.
Absolutely. We can't be passive consumers of information anymore. We got to be skeptical, question everything, do our own research.
Our BS detectors need to be on high alert,
Right.
especially in the age of AI.
For sure.
So we've talked about the good, the bad, even the kind of scary stuff about AI. But what does it all mean for us, regular people, just trying to live our lives?
Well, that's where we all have to, step up, become informed citizens. We need to understand this stuff, talk about it, make sure AI is developed and used in a way that's, good for everyone.
We can't just let it happen to us, right? We have to have a say in how AI shapes our world.
Exactly. And the first step is, education, right? Learning how AI works, what it's good at, what it's not so good at, how it affects our lives.
Yeah, the more we know about AI, the better decisions we can make about how we use it in our own lives, our communities, everywhere.
It's about being in control, not just letting AI control us.
Makes sense. And it's not like a one-time thing, right? AI is always changing, so we got to keep learning.
Totally. Stay curious, stay engaged, And remember, AI is a tool. It's up to us to decide how we use it. It's not like destiny or something. What we do today is going to shape what AI becomes tomorrow.
So to recap what we've heard from these Virginia Tech folks, AI has the potential to completely change things, make life better for people with disabilities, revolutionize industries, even help us understand our own potential better.
But there are risks too, right? Job losses. Maybe we become less connected to each other. And then there's the whole AI being used for bad stuff like propaganda and manipulation.
It's complicated, that's for sure. Lots of promise, but lots of potential problems too.
Yeah. We got to be excited about what AI can do, but also aware of the risks. Like cautious optimism.
I like that, cautious optimism. And the most important thing is the future of AI isn't set in stone. We're all creating it every day with the choices we make.
Every choice, every conversation, it all adds up.
Okay, we've covered a lot here. The good, the bad, the scary stuff about AI. We've talked about ethics, jobs, even AI as a propaganda machine. But there's one more thing that came up in our research that I think is really interesting, and we haven't really touched on it yet.
Oh, lay it on me. What haven't we unpacked yet?
Well, remember that Forbes survey we talked about at the beginning? The one where, like, a lot of Americans still trust humans more than AI for certain things.
Yeah, like giving medicine, writing laws, even picking out gifts.
Exactly. And that last one, the gift thing, it might seem kind of silly compared to everything else we've been talking about, but it really got me thinking.
Interesting. What is it about gift giving that stands out?
Well, I think it kind of gets at what it means to be human,
Mm.
especially in a world where technology is everywhere.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
To pick a good gift,
Mm-hmm.
you got to have empathy, right? You got to understand the other person, what they like, what they need. It's not just about data or algorithms.
It's personal, right? It's showing someone you care enough to, like, put in the effort.
Exactly. And maybe that's why people don't trust AI to pick gifts. It's missing that human touch, that thoughtfulness.
Yeah, like, it's efficient, maybe,
Yeah.
but it's not really meaningful.
Right. And maybe that's a good lesson for all of this AI stuff. Like, as we explore all this potential, we also got to remember to nurture those human qualities in ourselves.
Totally. Empathy, creativity, intuition, those things are still important, even in a high-tech world.
So yeah, while we figure out all the AI stuff, we also got to work on ourselves,
Absolutely. And the people developing AI, they need to remember that too. It's not just about making AI more powerful or efficient. It's got to be about making our lives better, helping us connect with each other, and, not losing what makes us human.
Making sure AI makes us more human, not less.
Yeah.
Make you think, like, even with all this amazing technology, some things are still better left to humans.
It is, like you said, a good reminder. We can't forget what makes us human, All those things AI can't replicate. Connection, empathy, that spark of, I don't know, just understanding another person.
So maybe it's not about AI versus humans, but more like AI and D humans, right, working together.
Exactly. That's the sweet spot, I think. Using AI to enhance those human qualities, not replace them.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I guess the question is, where do we go from here? What can our listeners do to, like, be part of this whole AI future?
Well, first things first, stay informed. Keep learning about AI, how it works, what it can do, what it can't do, and, all the ethical stuff. That's huge.
Yeah, there's so much out there. Articles, podcasts, documentaries. It can be overwhelming, but it's worth it.
Totally. And don't just be a passive learner, Talk about it with people. Ask questions. Share your own thoughts. If you're worried about something, speak up.
We can also support organizations that are, like, doing AI the right way.
Yeah.
The ones that are focused on ethics and using AI for good.
Right. Putting people first. That's key. And then just think about your own relationship with AI. Like, where do you draw the line? What are you comfortable with?
Yeah. Set some boundaries.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to, like, unplug every now and then, get back to those real human experiences.
Absolutely. It's all about balance. Embrace the cool stuff AI can do, but hold on to those human qualities, those things that make life worth living.
I like that. Find the balance.
Yeah.
Well, this has been quite a deep dive, wouldn't you say? We've gone from the amazing possibilities of AI to the not so amazing, even the kind of scary stuff.
It's been a wild ride, but hey, that's AI for you. Complex, constantly changing, full of potential, and yeah, a little bit scary sometimes.
But ultimately, it's up to us, right, to decide what kind of future we want to create with AI.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So to everyone listening, stay curious, stay engaged, and help us build a future where AI works for humanity, not the other way around.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of AI. We hope you learned something, had some fun, and maybe even got a little bit inspired.
And remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep imagining the possibilities.